guys, I don't think y'all had anything major come out of yesterday.
No, nothing major came out of yesterday.
You did say that Burrow will play.
Yes.
Was there any consideration to not have him play in that game?
No, gives us our best chance to win the game.
Joseph Osai, is he eligible to come back?
We'll see. Yeah, he's eligible to come. I mean, we didn't put him on IR or anything. We'll see through the week and see where he ends up.
Has Chase Brown developed into for lack of a better term, a complete running back?
I have complete trust in him in all three phases of playing running back. First and second down runner, coming out of the backfield, being an empty protection. I think he's had some great clips of protection this year as well. So, it's a loose term, complete back, but in terms of being able to be really effective in all three phases, we absolutely trust him to do that.
Joe goes perfect when he was not pressured yesterday, 19 for 19. Just looking back on the tape, I mean, what do you see from him and continues to show how great he is?
Yeah, I mean, nothing surprises me with how he did it. I think the part of the game that he won't get enough credit for is their pressure package and their fronts and different personnel groupings and different alignments and how they attack your protections on second down and third down. This week was probably as difficult as any week we have in terms of identifying that. They'd really hit home against a lot of teams. And so I just think his command isn't something that people in the stands are necessarily going to notice. They're going to see a completion for a good play. They're not going to see all the nuance that went into the communication and the awareness and looking at where a guy's foot is and where his hand is. I mean, all the things that he factored into it to make sure that we were on point. I think that's an underrated part of it. And I thought our guys did a great job with the actual picking it up, understanding what we're trying to do and doing a great job with the protection aspect of it.
Throwing the Cody play out of it, you were in 6 offensive linemen a little bit more yesterday. Was there something about that was that game plan, or is that something you like?
No, that was again. It's their personnel packages. You weren't going to see a lot of 11 on tape against them. Just the way that they, essentially give you base fronts for the most part against that, and so you got to be in 12. And with Noah being limited, not knowing throughout the week until the end that Noah was going to be up. You rep, your second tight end that they're gonna call a tight end out there blocking. So that was part of it. And then just let's do something fun to energize the end of practice, and we did it. And then it just kind of snowballed from there to where he was out there.
Amarius, I mean, it seems like he's had a really good season. You don't talk about him, and that's what shows that it's a good season. I guess. What have you seen from him maybe that people might not notice that's been a growth from him this year?
Well, I just think. Not to dismiss his football IQ going into this season, but I think that's really grown. What to anticipate, moves from players, how to come off in the run game. I just think he's really starting to take that next step of being able to anticipate before it actually happens. And again, I'm not trying to discount what he was last year in college, but I just think that experience is really starting to pick up now to where he knows what's coming at him and can be one step ahead of all that. So not only using his massive frame and all the great traits that he has, now you get the mental edge on people because you know what they're going to do before they do it, is a huge step for him.
I know that you'd rather some of these questions answer after the upcoming games because they're more off-season type questions, but is it at least gratifying for you to have seen the way that DJ and Dax have grown into their spots and that you can go into the off-season knowing like you have your foundation at outside corner, and then specifically with Dax, he's played safety, nickel. I would assume that's really hard to be able to master the outside corner the way he has. So can you just talk a little bit about how they've grown into their positions and the players and how you guys can build around them?
Yeah, we have a lot of confidence in both those guys. Like you said, Dax has done a lot for us over his 4 years here, and I think his best position is outside of corner, and he's done an excellent job of that. He's got tremendous length and physicality and speed. And again, similar to what we're talking about with other players who are going through their second, third, fourth year, now the experience is really showing up on how to anticipate. And so I think he's really grown in the right direction there, and somebody we can certainly count on. And I've mentioned all that about DJ several times over the course of the season. That hasn't changed for me at all. I thought yesterday he was outstanding with his energy and his leadership and his on-ball defending skills, and I thought both those guys did a great job yesterday.
so much focus, Zach, on the players, and rightfully so, but how has Al Golden developed this year, and how has the way he manipulates, like yesterday, holding Trey McBride in check for 3+ quarters, how has his schemes grown, how have they grown and developed over
Well, that's why he's here, and I just think I've got such a high opinion of him, and the proof is in the pudding with how he's coached when he was here, the development he had at the linebacker position, the effect he had, on our Super Bowl team, and then going to Notre Dame and having the success that he had, played for a national championship, and developed a ton of players along the way, and now he's here, and early in the season, we're playing a lot of guys that are new to it, and they're all developing at the same time. And so now that he's been able to, these guys really understand what we're asking of them. Coaching staff, by the way, that's never coached together before, none of those guys, and with Al. And so now for everybody to get into a groove, and now you get to expand what we're asking these guys to do and really attack teams, you're really seeing what we're capable of, and that's exciting. So I've seen that all along. I've known where this thing was headed. I've known where this thing is going to end up, and we're going to continue to improve in the offseason as well. But I think he's done a really good job, particularly since the bye. I mean, since the bye week, we gave up 31 to however many to Buffalo outside the pick six. The team hasn't scored more than 19 against our defense. They've done a great job creating turnovers, limiting drives, and giving us a great chance to win.
Kind of just answer the question a little bit, but why did it take so long for the defense to hit its stride? Why did it wait?
I think I said, a lot of youth on defense, a lot of guys getting their first taste of playing. We played 2 rookie linebackers for a really long time together. Some other young players that have really done a great job developing, and that's a credit to them. That's a credit to their coaches. And so now you see a really cohesive unit that understands everything we're trying to do. We understand their strengths and playing to their strengths, and they've got a lot of confidence. And that's a big part of things, is just establishing and maintaining that confidence. It's a unit where all 11 guys are playing together, which is critical, and about the halfway point of the season, that's where you started to really see that. And so we just got to continue to build off of that.
Just getting back to Amarius real quick, how much of a factor do you think Orlando has been? Just the fact that he shows up and he's a veteran, kind of has his height and frame, and he's been through it.
Yeah, I think Orlando's been a tremendous leader from that standpoint in helping Amarius grow. I think you give credit to Orlando. I think you can give credit to Dalton as well, playing right guard next to him as well. I don't think. Again, I give a lot of credit to Amarius and how much he's grown with the football IQ of things, and I think Dalton's done a great job as well. Talking through after play, what'd you see? How can I help you? So again, that's not. That's just a great combination of people, sitting there next to each other communicating, and that's what high-level offensive lines do. Is Ted communicating to the group from a center standpoint? That's Dylan and Ted. That's Dylan and Orlando. That's Dalton and Ted. Dalton and Amarius. I just think as a whole, the communication's been outstanding, and Jalen's more than capable as well when he's gotten time in there. Lucas when he's been in there, so it's just really a really impressive group in terms of the overall connection that they have together and the chemistry and the communication, and I think that's why our offensive line's playing the best since I've been here. That's been fun to see.
Do you approach this week any differently, knowing that it is your last game of the season, maybe giving some guys that contract is up or a younger guy some more playing time to see what they have?
No, whatever we can do to win the game is what we're going to do.
On that note, do you have any of those exit interview type conversations? Do you use the time this week with you being eliminated, or
no? Our focus 100% is on let's keep this as normal as possible. Put in a great week of work. Finish strong with a win in a divisional game at home in front of our fans. Finish on a 3-game winning streak. Those are the focuses, and then next week we do it next week.
You got a whole week to prep for Myles Garrett. What's that week like compared to maybe other guys around the league that you'll see?
He's the best. I mean, he's the best defensive player on planet Earth, and so, I don't even know how you can't put it into words. I mean, hard to describe what your plan has to be when you play against him, and it's all hands on deck. Have as much respect for him as any player we've ever gone against. It's not a fun process pre-game. It's not a fun process during the game. We take a lot of pride in having a great plan to try to give us our best chance of success. And I think the fact that he's in position, where he's at for this record is a credit to him that he's done it at such a high level repeatedly over and over and over again. And he's an absolute nightmare. And so, no, I don't enjoy 1 second of preparing for him. No.
Well, knowing that he's gonna be, there's probably an extra bit on the line for him this week to get that sack, does that affect how you guys?
Every year we play him in week 18, there's something on the line for his career. Last year it was his 100th sack, and so again, we're just got to have a plan that puts us in the best chance to win the game, and he can handle whatever he's got to handle. But if he plays, I mean, the way he plays in week 1, and I mean, he plays the same every week. So whether he's got something on the line or not, he's got our full attention.
Looking back on that week 1 game, he obviously has 2 sacks in that one when you guys played them. Where have you seen the biggest difference, both in the line and this team, from week 1 to now week 18, where you are now coming off this game yesterday?
For us?
Yeah.
Well, I just think, the time on task. You got Dylan, who's now played, I think he's played also, I can't remember. He's played a ton now at left guard. Dalton obviously has come in and played a good chunk of our season. And so I think now you've just seen the continuity of our offensive line. And once any team in the league, gets the first couple games under your belt, September's always a challenge to reestablish your identity and figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are going to be. And you catch a better groove, in November and December on who you really are and what you need to focus on. And so I think just now we know who we are and know our strengths and know our weaknesses and just got to keep focusing on that stuff.
It felt like the first victory Monday in a bit. Is that right?
It's the only one.
Or in like last year, I don't remember one.
I can't remember. I can't remember, to be honest with you.
Good.
Okay, thank you.